This podcast is sponsored by Happy Warrior Kava. Be a happy warrior. Drink, relax, and enjoy the strong and smooth taste of the best-selling kava in the islands. Happy Warrior Kava.
Aloha and welcome to another episode of HNN Overtime, the Hawaii News Now sports podcast, coming to you from the HNN Digital Center. I am Kyle Chinen, joined as always by Davis Pitner.
Good
just the boys today.
Morning, just the boys.
Just the boys
it's been
today.
a while.
It has been a while. We took a little bit of a break, and we're still, a lot of things happening, so everyone's a little busy.
Yeah, little Merry Monarch.
Monarch.
We've all been just super busy these past couple weeks.
And then today, as of recording this episode, is the last day for our very own Lacey Denise.
Lacey! Oh my God.
Want to wish her a, best wishes.
Yeah.
We love you. But yeah, it's kind of chaos outside.
It's a little bit of chaos. I don't, obviously the viewers can't see it, but outside this door is probably, honestly, it feels like 100 people out there.
100 people outside to wish Lacey well. But so we're just going to try and fit this episode in between. Everybody's all over the place. But
yes.
Speaking of craziness, let's get right into it.
Kyle, what was crazy?
Big West men's volleyball tournament.
That was crazy.
Opening rounds last night, the quarterfinals. Taking on UC Santa Barbara, and again another gritty match by this team.
Yeah.
They were able to pull out the win in 4 sets after dropping set 1, and I was there last night. If you looked at the match, they really could have gotten slaughtered in that first set, but UCSB committed a lot of serving errors to where they kept them in it. So they won. UCSB, they lost. They won the first set 25-23, but a lot of that had to do with the service errors to keep it that close. Coming out in set 2, UH gets the dub 25-20, and then in set 3 they kind of start to turn it on 25-17, and that was because they had Chaz Galloway, one of their guys, come off the bench. He was not in the starting lineup this last night. Come off the bench and gave them a real spark. He ended the night with 5 kills and a couple. He had 1 ace. So solid night by Chaz Galloway there to come off the bench and perform. But an all-around good game. Leader in kills last night was Alaka Itad. They ended up winning set 4 as well, 25-23. So they advanced. Alaka Itad 13 kills to lead the team with a service ace, and then Tread Rosenthal. He had himself a good night as well. 31 assists for that as well. So good sign. Now they have a real challenge ahead of them, Davis. They take on UC Irvine.
Ooh.
The consensus number 1 right now in the Big West, the 1 seed. It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, you know what's impressed me too, and we were talking about this earlier, is that this is a young team, and I've been thoroughly impressed by them throughout their entire season. We have a freshman setter that everyone was kind of curious on how he was going to do this season, because obviously big shoes to fill for that position. And I've just been so impressed by these guys over time. I think this is a really young team. I think the seniors really kind of led the charge. Galloway last night having a huge game for them, and Alaka Itad also stepping up. So you have the seniors stepping up, but you also have these freshmen also making a bigger impact in these games. Yeah. So It was really good. I was impressed last night.
It was a good showing. It's a good sign to show that they're trending in the right direction. Obviously they ended the regular season with a loss to UC San Diego, but they were able to shake that off. And you talk about the freshmen. You have Louis Sakanoko, the freshman from Paris. He contributed last night as well, along with getting subbed out for Galloway. But Tread, he is 17, 18 years old. He left high school early to come join UH to play with guys like this, and they've been able to overcome the injury of Spiros Hakas, and were able to figure something out to get the 3 seed in this tournament. So they were able to work their way back up. So it's going to be interesting to see. This will be the 4th time that they see UC Irvine, and this year alone they are 2-1, against them. They were able to beat them, obviously, in the finals of the Outrigger Invitational when Spiros went down, and then they split against UC Irvine in the regular season. So
are you feeling a little Jakob Tella-ish with Rosenthal too? You know, is it just me?
You know, we've asked Charlie that question, and you know, he's very adamant on making it so that he is his own man, he's his own person.
Sure.
You know, before he made it clear, you know, before Jakob Tella was Jakob Tella, everybody thought he was the next Joe Worsley. You know, before Joe Worsley. You know, so you know, this program has a lineage of really good setters, and I think right now he's carving his own way in, which is a good thing because you don't really want to be like, you know, the same guy as before, and you know, you want to evolve. So I would say there's tendencies, but at the same time he's still growing and he's still learning. So I think the sky's the limit for Tread Rosenthal.
Yeah, I've been thoroughly. I think everyone's been really impressed by him as he's grown over time during this season. I mean, the amount of awards that he's won over these past couple of weeks, throughout the season, has been so impressive. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see. I mean, this is a big test tonight on how they're going to do. Make sure to show up in case you haven't gotten your tickets yet.
Yeah, that's 7 p.m. at the stand. It's the last game of the night. UC Irvine UH should be electric. It was electric last night. Should be really electric.
A little electric there. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see, even if they don't win tonight's game, how these younger players are going to be doing for the rest of their time, the rest of their career here at UH. I think they all have a bright future.
Yeah.
And Kyle, one person also that has a bright future ahead of her, Caitlin Clark.
Shout out Iowa.
Shout out Iowa. Obviously, if you haven't heard of Caitlin Clark before, probably one of the best women's basketball players in college to ever play. I would probably say she's a dynamic player. Iowa ended up not winning the championship, but she carried that team with them, 100%. Honestly.
She's a superstar, and she is now heading to the big leagues. She was the first overall pick in the WNBA draft to the Indiana Fever. And her star status, however, shining a light on a striking disparity between her salary and those of her male counterparts in the NBA. We were talking about this earlier off camera. You know, her base salary is $76,500 in her first season, and then it escalates to more than $97,000 in her fourth year. So over 4 years, equating to $338,000 as determined by the league's rookie scale for top picks. In comparison, Davis, let's do a little.
Okay, little side by side
action. Last year's top pick in the WNBA draft locked in a 4-year contract worth $55 million.
You know, we had to throw this in because it's just so crazy to see the differences in salaries between the two.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to me because you have such a dynamic player as Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And to see that differences in salary between the NBA is honestly just shocking.
And you know, everybody can make the argument of like, obviously with ad revenue, the shares and all that, and just, you know, the size of the league and all those comparisons of money, whatever. Caitlin Clark is a generational talent, male or female. Yeah. So, I mean, yes, that's just kind of the status quo with her current rookie contract for a top pick in the WNBA, but she's got to make more. But, I mean, let's just be real. She'll make more on all of her endorsements and all that, but her contract for playing the sport that's made her this big should be more.
I think it should be more. And we do have to say, actually this week, something kind of brand new is that she's actually going to strike a Nike deal.
Ooh,
Kyle.
Nice.
And so let me read a little bit about this. Going to play a little bit more B-roll for you guys of Caitlin. So this is a big week for the number 1 overall pick. Now there's talk that she could sign a multi-million-dollar endorsement deal with Nike. Obviously, Nike is one of the signature shoes out in all the sports and just in general. Clark's performance in her final collegiate season with the Iowa Hawkeyes helped attract record-breaking TV audiences and sellout crowds in arenas around the country. Honestly, this is a big deal. I don't think anyone was really surprised by this that much.
Yeah, and there's another line here, and it's like, just so happens she wore Nike. It's honestly so convenient, especially for a brand like Nike, to be, the brand sponsor first, because like most times, like per se, like the NFL draft, like guys will usually sign like brand deals with the apparel that their college was at, right? So it just kind of almost worked out perfect, right? That Iowa is a Nike school. They've given Iowa all their gear, right? For all the time that Caitlin's been there, and so it's like it almost makes too much sense. Kind of like Oregon, right? When like Mariota came out.
You had to bring up Oregon.
I got to.
Yeah,
but like Oregon, Mariota signed with Nike. Oregon is a Nike school. Like, so it's just one of those things where it's like it's almost perfect how it all lined up, because like most basketball schools go with Adidas for some reason. Like, Adidas.
That is a big thing.
It's
yeah.
Adidas is more of a basketball brand than I think it is like a football brand, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, this or that. Are you a Nike guy or
I'm a Nike guy. Yeah, I'm a Nike guy. All the way. Honestly.
I mean, we're both bigger guys.
We are.
And you ever notice that Nikes just fit the best? Like, shoes?
They do fit the best.
They fit the best.
Yeah.
All the other ones are too narrow. Sorry about it. All your jerseys are too tight. I mean, what was it? I think back in Milani, my sophomore year, we had Adidas jerseys, and they were the worst.
Ooh.
I mean, just tight.
I could see that. Yeah, I think my school, we were sponsored by Nike.
See, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good fit.
It is a good fit. I mean, overall, at least for football, I don't know how it is with other sports. The gear was just more kind of comfortable.
That's true.
For us.
Very true.
I'm not sure if that deal has changed since I left. But overall, I mean, Nike is my personal favorite when it comes to apparel.
Same.
I mean, that's such a big deal for her. The one thing I'm curious about Caitlin Clark is, because we were talking about contracts earlier and the differences between audiences between the NBA and the WNBA. Yeah. Is she going to attract a bigger audience for the WNBA? Because you have, throughout college, you have her drawing in huge TV audiences, right? Is she going to do the same?
I think she'll bring a wave. Because, I mean, I saw this other report that all of the Caitlin Clark Indiana Fever jerseys are sold out.
I saw that, yeah.
Sold out.
Yeah.
So Indiana will show up, and it's honestly cool because Indiana's a basketball state, so it's just like, it almost works out perfectly that the number 1 basketball player on the face of the planet at the moment is going to, like, the capital of the basketball world almost.
Yeah.
So wishing her well. Almost makes you think like maybe she should have taken the contract with the big 3, but obviously the WNBA.
I think it was important that she like stayed with her team. I think it would. I mean, that would have been amazing if she went. I mean, if I remember right, that was like $5 million or something to play. And I mean, that was an opportunity lost, but I think it makes her look better to stick with that team.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think she made the right choice. You know what? Something though that I personally didn't make the right choice about, Kyle.
What?
My March Madness bracket.
I know, man.
So
it's okay. It's okay.
We were, it's been crazy busy these past couple weeks, and I was going to mention this actually when March Madness ended. But remember those episodes ago where I'm hyping myself up. I'm like, top 1,000 in Sports Center. I was so hyped about myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, that went away. That went away. Still not too bad. Not too bad. Just because I just want to go over this season. So looking at it, I have these screenshots. So I actually did get the matchup right. I did get Purdue. and UConn.
Okay.
I did get those two correctly. So that is my bracket. I'm 99.2% correct, and I'm in the top 204,000. So
that's pretty good.
overall, yeah, I gotta say, usually over the years, my rank is usually in the millions.
Yeah.
I'm always completely
that's
wrong.
Pretty good.
It's
honestly.
not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, we're looking. So this was before,
Uh-huh.
right? This is when I was happy about everything. You know,
Yeah.
top 1,000.
Yeah.
Oh no. Sorry about that. Wait.
Here we go. There we go.
Actually, yeah. Looking back at this. Okay, yeah. So I was kind of getting mixed up. So this was actually before. This was when I was in the top 1,000 on SportsCenter. And I was in the top 12,000 earlier on overall.
There you go.
That dropped, back to 200 something thousand.
bit,
Yeah. NBA Today, I was in the top 1,000
Yeah.
to finish off the season, and SportsCenter top 11,000.
That's pretty good, dude.
Overall, I am kind of happy about how
Overall,
things
yeah.
turned out. And I know our league that we're both in, I think I got third in it. What did you get?
I had Purdue taking it.
You were high up.
I
at
was
some
high
points.
for most of the
Yeah,
year.
most of the year you were really high up.
I was like top 3, almost. At one point, I think I was number 1. But
Yeah, I was impressed. I'm like, guys, Kyle can pick these teams. He can predict the future. Everyone.
I finished in 9th place.
Which is crazy because you were up there.
I was
like dead last. Like in mine.
See, the thing is, though, it's like my Final Four was all wrong except Purdue. So that really hurt me.
Yeah.
I didn't take UConn in this one. So I had Purdue going up against Arizona.
Yeah.
So, not the best.
You know what's crazy? And I was looking at ESPN at all the top brackets. I don't think there were any perfect brackets left.
No.
But there was like one person that got like one wrong.
Right.
Like his Final Four were all correct.
Right.
Which is insane because I didn't think Alabama was making it that far. I didn't think.
Me neither.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy.
Another madness, another mad March,
Another mad March.
What can we say?
Always next year.
There is always next year. And there's always next week, Davis.
There's
for
next
another episode of Overtime. That was pretty smooth, wasn't it?
That was good.
That was pretty good. But yeah, we've taken a couple episodes off, but we will be back to your regularly scheduled programming here soon. Everybody here is busy. Everybody's got our jobs to do, but we had to come in here and talk a little sports.
Got to talk a little sports. I had to do it. Got to give you guys a little something. Little something.
But for Davis Pitner, I'm Kyle Chinen. Be sure to check out this episode of HNN Overtime on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, where you get the rest of our HNN podcast. Video version is on our YouTube channel. Oh my goodness!
Oh wait, Kyle. Whoa. Kyle, were you gonna say our Instagram too? HNN Overtime.
I get choked up thinking
spaces.
About it. No spaces.
Kyle's getting choked up about that.
I get choked up thinking about it.
No spaces, everyone. Make sure to check it out.
Be sure to check that out. But again, for Davis Spinner, I'm Kyle Chinen. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Aloha.
This podcast is sponsored by Happy Warrior Kava. Be a happy warrior. Drink, relax, and enjoy the strong and smooth taste of the best-selling kava in the islands. Happy Warrior Kava.